Hi, I'm Sandy.
And I'm Debbie.
We're from the Normal Paranormal Group. And
Back today with
another ghost stories.
I hope you're watching our videos. And today we're going to talk about our haunted house again in Chicago. And this time it's about warnings and sounds and ghost girls.
And hearing voices.
And voices, especially the voices. Yes. No, you're not dreaming when you hear voices. Well, I'll put it this way. When you have two people hearing the same voices talk.
Right. I had one night when I was laying in bed upstairs in our attic. Always in our attic.
Yep.
I heard a man and woman holding a conversation. Oh my God, they were like just talking to each other back and forth.
You swore it was a TV on.
Right.
But back in those days, we had one
TV in our living room.
In our living room, yes.
And we were upstairs in our bunk beds. And then I'm saying, Mom, do you hear them? Do you hear the woman and man talking? And they were actually holding a conversation over me. And I couldn't figure out. I'm thinking they were like a serious conversation.
Yep.
And her answer would always be, oh, it's just the neighbor's voice bouncing off the railroad track. She always had an answer for something.
Something, yeah, because she didn't want to scare us in our youth, which I wish was more honest with us, but she was probably right. We would have probably been more afraid. But yeah, we even heard them in the front room, their living room downstairs, by the vent. We used to lay down by the vent, by the heater.
Yes.
And we heard a man and woman talking, having a conversation, and we both got our ears to the vent.
Listening. Always listening.
Yeah, so we both tippy-toed upstairs, and we went up to the door. I think that door was locked at the time, wasn't it?
I think it still was locked. My dad had a padlock on there a couple of times.
But it did have like a peephole in there.
Right, but you always wonder why he did that for.
Yeah.
You never knew.
So we peeked in there, and all we seen was the darkness. And we couldn't understand. And when you got to the attic, you didn't hear no voices. So then we would go back downstairs. So after a while, my dad, he unlocked the attic door. He put bunk beds upstairs. He put a bed in the front bedroom.
He was going to make a dorm upstairs for us, in fact.
Yeah, he had 6 daughters, so that's what he wanted to do. Never did it, but he wanted to do it. So, yeah, we were sleeping all through the house this one night.
Oh, yeah.
And
all different rooms now. In all different rooms.
In all different rooms. This was a day before Father's Day.
At night.
And this is in the middle of the night,
right?
Actually, because
we're all sleeping.
We're all sleeping. And so Sandy and I wake up in the attic, and we hear a woman moaning and crying.
Oh, my God.
It was loud, like above us.
Yeah, she was really moaning and crying. And
yeah.
We're all looking around above our heads or looking around. Who's moaning? Who's crying? We're running down the stairs.
And then all of a sudden, our sisters came out of the one bedroom looking. My parents got up out of the other bedroom. They were looking. And we all met in the dining room. And you could still hear this woman moaning and crying. And we're looking all over like, where's this coming from? And then it stopped.
Right?
Just stopped. And so the next day, we were out playing. And my mother called us. And she says, you have to get home. And Sandy and I were dancing, coming home singing our favorite songs in the alley. And then she says, I don't want you to leave the house. And Sandy looks at me real serious. And I said, what? And she got real quiet. You talk about premonitions of all times. We went out to the front porch and said, do not leave this house no matter what. So Sandy started crying, and she goes, Debbie, Grandpa's dead. I said, how do you know? I said, no one knows that. Mom and Dad didn't say nothing. She goes, no, and she was crying real hard. And so this is Father's Day, mind you. And my dad and Mom come back just to tell us our grandpa died. And this woman was warning us. She was telling us.
Yes.
You know. And then we had our other grandfather, who lived with us, and same thing. It's really strange. My other grandpa, he died of pneumonia. He was 83 years old, and he had this cat he loved. He called him Big Red.
He had 3 legs.
Yep, got in a fight with the squirrel.
And lost.
Yep, he lost a leg, that's for sure. So anyways, Big Red, in the middle of the night, I kid you not, this is God's truth from my mouth.
True story.
Yes, from my mouth to God's ear, this is true. We were woken up in the middle of the night. This cat went through the house going, Kelly, Kelly.
I wish we had a video camera back then.
Oh my
Trust
God,
me.
I wish we did too. And we're all standing there. It woke my parents up, and we had school the next day, and when we got home, Big Red was gone. We don't know what happened to Big Red after that.
Disappeared.
After
our grandfather died, that was it.
Yeah. But that cat actually said his name, crying for him.
Did you also ever experience being in a room, we did in our living room, by the way, a smell of lavender? Out of the clear blue, the smell of lavender was very strong in our living room.
Yeah. There was so many strange things. What was we were going to talk about too? About haunted things being put in the house.
Objects.
Haunted objects. Yes, my Uncle Tony loved garbage picking. Yes, he did.
Alley picking.
Alley picking. Well, back then they called it alley picking. So he would bring home stuff, and so one day he brings home this book, and it was Haunted America, something like that. And so I was standing in the doorway between the dining room and kitchen. There's 2 stairs to go into the kitchen. And so I'm standing on the edge, and I'm thumbing through the book. And there's no one in the house but my mom, my Uncle Tony, and me. And all of a sudden, I feel someone push me from behind. And I fell on my knees. And I looked behind me, and there was nothing there. And my mom grabbed the book. She gave it to my Uncle Tony and says, "You bring that back. You bring it back where you found it from. Do not throw it in our garbage cans. Do not throw it in the neighbor's garbage cans. You bring it back." She was adamant on you bring it back to where you got this object. Yeah, where you found this object.
That's right.
So you think she would learn from that? No. He comes home with this homemade picture frame, and it had a baby's baptismal outfit in it, and it had real hair.
Lock of hair.
Yeah,
yes, like
it was a
hair.
lot. It was a lot of hair in the bonnet, and I don't know whatever possessed her to hang it up in the bedroom, but my daughter would not sleep overnight. She would not go to my mother's for over 2 weeks, and she was woke up at the middle of the night, and she heard a voice say, "Get out, get out," and she got scared and ran out of the bedroom. And she held on to me. You know, I got her home. I had picked her up and got her home and that. And so she stayed home with me for 2 weeks. And I told my mother, "You got to get rid of this picture." I said, "My daughter's not going to come back here ever, ever." So she directed my Uncle Tony again. "You take that and put it back where you found it.
Hi, Jennifer.
Don't throw it in the garbage. Don't throw it in the neighbor's garbage. You put it exactly where you found it." And she was really adamant on that. And, oh my God, there was some other things.
My dad actually seen a woman in white walking into the bedroom.
Right.
That's why I think it's the woman. There's the family that was there that, I think it was a man, a woman, a husband, a wife, the 2 girls. Oh yeah, we gotta tell you about that, about the 2 little girls, because it brings up another great memory when Debbie and I were young, that we will be playing with these young girls, but it's like in a dream.
Yeah.
And it was like, there's a hole in the floor, and there was actually a hole in the floor. And
we looked in the hole.
Yes.
And there was very old time wallpaper.
Right.
Yes, and my father never
Covered the hole
covered
either.
it up.
We
I don't
never
know
understood why he did a lot of things, but he did what he did. And Debbie and I would continue having the same dreams that we would crawl in this hole in the floor, going down the vent into the bedroom downstairs.
Yeah.
We would follow the little girls.
And this was a continuous dream we were having.
Right, all the time. We would
Two
always
of
have
us.
fun
Yeah.
until
We grew up.
we grew up and were too big to fit in the hole.
Yeah, one day I tried getting through the hole. I couldn't fit.
Couldn't fit in it.
Sandy was dreaming she was trying to get through the hole. She couldn't get in it. And we both woke up and told each other. We both were shocked that we were having
the
this
same
dream.
dreams.
You know, so I guess we got too big to go through
Right.
this.
This was a hiding place where these little girls hid. Was between the wall, like a vent, like a tunnel or something going down. But
Yeah.
it was like going down to the bedroom downstairs.
Yeah. Well, these little girls, we think, probably died in a house fire there.
We don't know what really actually
'Cause,
happened. We're assuming, or basically, they died that way. Yeah.
Yeah, when they were tearing, the new owners came in to tear down the inside of the house to remodel it. They found burnt wood. So that gives us an indication why these girls might be there. But they were dressed in, you described the clothing.
They were like 1920s or 1900s. They were like white, like old time dresses with the petticoats or something, and they had the white socks, and they had shoes, and their hair was in braids.
Yep.
One was blonde, one was brunette.
Yeah. And I remember sleeping in that attic. These little girls saved my life, actually.
Several times, not just
Well,
once.
yeah, several times they did, actually, yeah. But this one time, it wasn't paranormal involved, except for these girls. But I would wake up, I'd hear Debbie, and I was laying in bed. I don't know why I was tired. I just had dinner, didn't brush my teeth. I just wanted to lay down. And I heard Debbie, and all of a sudden, I couldn't breathe. And here, the house cat was laying on my chest, sucking the milk or something off my breath. And I pushed the cat to the side and jumped up, and I gasped for air. And these girls woke me up. Thank God for those girls.
Right, and I think the girls saved us that other time when we were upstairs sleeping in our beds next to the window. There was a bad storm that came.
We were decorating.
Yes.
We got this first time we ever seen a silver Christmas tree.
Oh, yes.
And we put it upstairs. It was a small one. And we were happy-go-lucky. Anything to decorate the attic.
Make it bright.
Make it bright, cherry. And we were putting garland on there. And Sandy and I all of a sudden froze around the tree. And we looked at each other and said, "Do you feel what I feel?" We both made a beeline to the stairs.
That was it. That's all we had to do was agree with each other and say those words.
And so we were downstairs. We slept on the front room floor that night. And then when we went upstairs to get dressed, we were shocked that a tree
broke through the
attic window,
and glass
was all over both our beds. Yes. We were mortified. And you would think with that loud crashing noise, we would have heard that downstairs.
We didn't.
We didn't hear anything.
Nobody did.
No one. So we were shocked to see this.
So, yes, those little girls always looked after us.
Mm-hmm.
Bless those little girls. And we're not the only ones that actually seen her. My mother took care of some other young people at the time, young kids and that, and they also mentioned to our mother about the young girls in the attic.
Our sister Rose seen the girls in the attic.
So it's not just me and Debbie that seen them, but other people have verified to us about the girls.
And I remember when Uncle Tony was sleeping in the attic at the time, because she had various people stay up in the attic after her kids were grown up, getting married.
Right.
So he would say, Pat, my bed started shaking. And the mattress came off, and I fell on the floor with the mattress. And she goes, "Oh, we must have had an earthquake." In Chicago, right? Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, that's our ghosts going off.
Yeah. So, we had a lot of interesting things happen in this house. So we hope you like our ghost stories. They're true.
They're true stories.
Very true. They're not made up.
Right.
You know,
So if you have something to share your stories.
Share it with us.
People will enjoy them as much as we enjoy read about them
You'd
and
be
all your
surprised.
experience.
You'd be surprised.
Tell us your stories.
In the meantime,
more ghost stories to continue. Bye for now.
bye.